then I want you to know a need that a man has that he won't ever tell you about. But since I'm the preacher man, I'll say it. Your man needs an attractive wife. Well, anybody else thinks about... Well, I shouldn't say that. Your man needs an attractive wife. A hockey player said, he said, I married a trophy wife, but now she looks like the Stanley Cup. You see what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. All right? That's what I'm talking about. And ladies here, here's the thing you need to know about men. Don't give him a reason to be like this distracted boyfriend. You hear me? Don't give him a reason to be looking around. Hello? Don't do that. I've said this for a long time. I'll say it again. It's free, by the way. I really don't believe women understand how visual men are. I really don't. I don't think it's in their capacity, their ability to understand how visual that men are. I really don't think women understand how important it is for a man to have a beautiful woman on his arm. It's really important to a man to do that. So here's what you want your man to say when he takes you to the Christmas party at the office. My friend may have married a trophy wife, but compared to mine, she doesn't even qualify. That's what ultimately you want your man to say about you. To him, you should be the most beautiful woman in the room. Amen, ladies? So, okay, why is it so many times that women, after they get married, let themselves go? Why is it? Why do they do that? Here's how way too many women are. I got him now. The chase is over. Hey, that's where you're wrong. The chase ain't never over. The chase ain't never over. And by God, if he don't love me the way I look now, he ought to look at his own spare tire in the mirror. Now look, I'm not saying every woman can be the epic trophy wife of all time, like Melania Trump. I'm not saying that at all. Now, most women can't be trophy wives, but you know, like her, maybe you're a participation trophy. I don't know, but all I can say is not everybody looks like that. Amen. Not everybody looks like that. But you don't need to look like a butch either. Hey, here's something you need to know. You need to know this. Men have a need for their women to look like women. Hey, sweatpants don't cut it all the time, huh? Wearing flip-flops and pajamas to Walmart, that ain't going to work. Ain't nothing attractive about that. It ain't. And men want their wives to look good at home and in public. Can I get an amen? Well, there's some old guys here. Amen. Amen. It's true. They want their wife to look good. In this book now, Men's Needs and Her Needs, I referred to that last week. Dr. Hartley says this. Listen to this, ladies. You should take great pains as you can to look like the woman he fell in love with, as much as you can like the woman he married. Right. So here's a secret. Here's a secret you need to know, ladies. God made men to be drawn to beautiful women. We are made this way. We can't help ourselves. We are like that. That's how God made us. Do you think Eve wasn't attracted in the garden? He made men to be attracted to beautiful women. By the way, that's why he married you. He thought you were the most beautiful thing he had ever seen in his life. And that's why he married you. Now, you can call it juvenile, you can call it immature, you can call it sexist, whatever you want to. But here's another secret you need to know. Ladies, this is the way God made us, this is the way we are. Men are going to look. He made us to look. You want them to be looking at you. So we need to not, me either, don't let yourself go. It's important that your man has a good-looking woman on his arm. But you say, how can I do that? Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm so glad you asked that question, because you're in my office, you and your husband, and we're talking about your marriage, and you've asked me this question about what can I do about that. All right, if you were sitting in my office, here's the first thing I'd say to you, and boy, I hate to say that, this is why I don't do marital counseling anymore, and that is weight control. All right, let me tell you a funny story. When I used to do marital counseling, I don't anymore. I was a young pastor, didn't know no better. And I agreed to counsel this couple. They've been married about 5 years. She looked like a sumo wrestler, and he was a little guy. And I started saying, there wasn't no intimacy going on there, and I'm trying to keep a straight face. I'm trying, this is awkward. I've never really counseled too many married people before. And so I said to him, so what seems to be the problem when it comes to the intimacy part? He said, because she's a fat beep, and she came over that table, and she grabbed him and threw him on the floor and got on top of him and started beating the crap out of him. And here I am, I feel like a WWE wrestling referee. I'm trying to pull her off. He's got 2 black eyes, probably broken ribs because she's punching him in the ribs and the face at the same time. And I finally get her pulled off her, and we sit down. It's like nothing ever happened. No wonder I don't do marital counseling anymore. And so what I want to tell you is this. 10 months later, she had lost 100 pounds. And she was pregnant with her second child. I guess it worked. And they will tell you to this day, preacher man saved our marriage. Yeah. Yeah. I sure did. I saved that little man's life and get beat to a pulp and get killed. I sure did. Weight control. Weight control. So somebody said, what's the difference between a man's girlfriend and a man's wife and a man's girlfriend? Oh, about 60 pounds. Well, maybe so. So how important is this? Let me tell you something. I have a friend. He has put a divorce weight on his wife. That's how important this is. Men want their wives to look good. It's in a need that they have. As a matter of fact, if your wife ever asks you if she's fat, for God's sake, say no and save your life. But seriously, I know some women can't help it. It's their thyroid, it's my prostate, their thyroid, whatever you want to say. And most of the time, it's too many cupcakes. That's what it is. But you say, my man looks like the Michelin Man. He ain't untouchable. Listen here, we're talking about how men are. We're talking about how men are. I understand, but men are the most visually stimulated creation on the earth. And God made them to look. Don't ever forget this. God made them to look. And you want them to look at you, not some hottie out there or somebody on a computer screen. Amen? Now you got to do like my wife does, okay? My wife, well, let's say she used to be quite robust. Healthy. Yes, healthy. Thank you. She's had 3 kids, and every time that she has a kid, she puts on weight, and so she knows how I am. She knows I'm a man, and she knows I'm going to look, and she wants me to look at her. So she started going to Weight Watchers, being a supportive husband. I went myself with her. She lost, every time that she had a baby, she probably lost 30, 40, 50 pounds. Every time. And because she knows it's important that I want a good-looking woman on my arm, and she knows that. And she wasn't always a beanpole like she is now. But she's lost a lot of weight. She's thin. And she wants to look attractive herself, and she wants me to look at her and nobody else. One of her favorite expressions is, food never tastes as good as skinny feels. And so I'm glad I have a wife that understands that's the kind of man I am, because